Hi! So for this paper, I wanted to write about something that was just kind of like something that I knew a lot about, something that I knew a lot about on my side, but something that I didn't quite know about on the opposing side of my argument. And so I chose abortion, and I think the things that I don't understand about the opposing side are more just like why people think that this is okay, and I think I knew some, but I didn't quite know everything that I wanted to know, so that's why I chose to focus on this for my paper. The article that I found was by this woman who just wanted to focus on the facts of abortion as opposed to all the emotional things attached to it. So she talked a lot about like what qualifies someone to be human or a living organism or things like that that are more factual and less emotional. I think that a lot of the people on the opposing side of abortion tend to believe that people who are pro-life are very emotional, and that's the only reason why they think the way that they do. But there's a lot of fact behind it, and so that's what her article talked a lot about, and it was really interesting. She shared a lot about the fact that a baby at the point of conception is a mix of DNA that's not the mom's, it's its own person, so it has partially, yes, some of the mom's DNA, but it also has the dad's, and it's not entirely a part of that woman. It's not like, you know, cutting off a finger. It's actually like a different life. It's a completely different DNA makeup. So for the opposing side, I was looking at an article that a young woman at a university just claimed that it's an aborted life is not a human life, and just said that she refused to believe anything else. And that is probably the most common argument for people who tend to stay on the pro-choice side, and this just kind of proved that wrong. Another article I found was just to back up my main article was one on National Review, which I actually thought was going to be a pro-choice article, and it ended up being very pro-life. And it just said that a lot of women don't get the empowerment that they're looking for when, you know, they protest for abortion and things like that. Women talk about empowerment and how, like, we should have a right to our own body. This article talked a lot about how women who have gotten abortions said that they did not feel empowered, and said that they felt very pressured to make that decision based off of what other people were telling them. Which I thought was really interesting. A lot of them chose to get an abortion in fear that their partner would leave them and things like that, that just make it really sad to think that a lot of women are getting abortions that don't want them. And lastly, it just kind of talked about the feelings that women have after receiving an abortion. Is just a lot of them said that they felt very remorseful, very depressed. They felt like they needed to mourn that life, and they felt shame. And I thought that was really, just really interesting in terms of the fact that most women think that you can just kind of do something like that and just walk away from it. And I think it was somewhere around like 58% of women clearly stated that they did not feel comfortable after receiving an abortion. So I just used that for my argument and talked about why I believe that it's wrong and why these things supported it, and why the opposing side, like, while I think women would like to think that they have validity in thinking the way that they do, it doesn't quite add up, it doesn't quite make sense, and in the end result we found out that a lot of women don't feel comfortable with it even after doing it. So yeah, that's a little bit about my argument, and enjoy!